And welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. In today's tutorial we are going to make a fabulous centerpiece for your table. This is so Willy Wonka, it is so crazy. We have already filmed another tutorial where we're doing mini versions of what you see going on here. And this is a coaster size, it's a very generous size. Now this pattern is following something that we have on redheart.com called the pinwheels for table and tree. And what I've done in this is that I've used 2 yarn at one time to double the thickness of everything you see. So you can use this tutorial to either do the placemat that they're suggesting in the pattern, or you can get a whole centerpiece out of this. This is much bigger obviously than a placemat, by doubling up your yarn and using a size 6.0 millimeter or a size J hook. You can create either or. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the ins and outs of this pattern, and this is really amazing as well. So here are the instructions that you will find on redheart.com, and you can follow along, and there appears to be a lot of writing, but this is so simple. And the way that I did it is that I just went on the side margin, and you can freeze frame me at any moment if you want to write these down on your pattern as well, is that round 2 was 1 to 2, and I'll explain that later. Round 3 was 1 to 3, 1 to 6. Round 4 was 1 to 10, 1 to 6. Round 5 was 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Round 7 is 1 to 14, 1 to 18, and finally round number 7 is 1 to 18. So what do those mean to you? And I'm going to explain that in a bit as we get started on this project, because once you understand and have these written down on the pattern, you will see how fast you can fly on this, because there's really not a lot of reading you will have to do once you determine that. To start off with, you're going to need 2 strand colors, and you will need 2 strands being the same color. To me like this, so we can have a solid white, and then we're obviously going to be using a purple here, and I do like purple for Christmas as well. And then there's another color for the outside border that you'll need 2 strands for that as well. Now you can follow the written instructions and only use 1 strand with a 5 millimeter or a size H crochet hook, and that'll get you a placemat size. Or you can follow what I'm doing here and using 2 yarn strands together to create a really nice thick tabletop centerpiece. I am using a size 6.0 millimeter or a size J hook today. It does not matter on which color that we're going to start with, you just have to commit to it. And let's begin. I'm going to start off with purple because it's already in my hands. To begin, we're going to start off with the placemat, and it says center A, and this is with A, that is the color meaning, and then what we're going to do is just create a slip knot to start. And I'm using both strands as if they're one, and because of that this will grow relatively quickly because you are bulking it up using 2 strands. So it says with a chain 4 and join with a slip knot to form a ring. Remember that the first one that we started never counts as 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's create that center ring by coming into the beginning chain, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through, and there would be your center chain of your placemat. To begin, we're going to start off with the placemat, and it says center A, and this is with A, that is the color meaning, and then what we're going to do is just create a slip knot to start. And I'm using both strands as if they're one, and because of that this will grow relatively quickly because you are bulking it up using 2 strands. So it says with a chain 4 and join with a slip knot to form a ring. Remember that the first one that we started never counts as 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's create that center ring by coming into the beginning chain, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through, and there would be your center chain of your placemat. So we're going to continue still using the purple here, and we're just going to lay the stragglers down around this outside of the ring as if it's part of the ring, so we can trap it into position. We are simply just going to chain up 1, and then we are going to single crochet right into the center of this ring. So that'll get you started. Single crochet, and then we're going to immediately do a half double crochet into the center of the ring. Okay, so we pull through all 3, and now let's do 3 double crochets into the center of the ring. So 1, and notice how I'm keeping the stragglers on the outside, 2, and 3 is the final here. So let's pull a very large loop just like so, and let's begin to do the white color next. So this is the first portion of how to start off. Any stragglers at this point that are hanging out, I'd recommend that you get rid of them right now so that they're not in your way as you begin, and you won't get confused on what strings are going where. So we're going to start off with the white now, and we're just going to loop it around and just put your hook into the center ring and just put it through. Just pull it through like so, and we want to bring the straggler down on top of the ring on the outside, and we're going to trap it just like we did with the purple. I simply just need you to chain one. So we're going to chain, and now we're going to come back into the center of the ring for a single crochet, and now we're going to go back into the ring again for a half double crochet. Is this looking familiar to you? This is how you did the purple. And then finally 3 double crochets into that same ring. So this is exactly how you started off with the purple. The only difference being is that you needed to not create the ring. It's already been established for you. The purple is the center, and you can see that because the yarn is going around it, you don't even see the purple on this side. So do 3 double crochets and then pull a generous loop, and voila, you have both sides of your project started. Now I want you to make sure that you get rid of these stragglers right away, and they'll be out of sight, out of mind. You don't need to worry about it. And now we're ready to begin to work with the purple once more. You will notice that these strands may get tangled with each other, so when you're rotating your project, just look for where the ball is and rotate it in the way that it will not be crossing over the other color. So we're going to start off with the purple. We want to bring it back online onto our hook, and we're going to start off with, and every stitch on the white here is going to get 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So we're just going to start off immediately right into the white, and there will be 2 double crochets into that one, and then continue to go around until you run out of white. If your math has been done right, you will only be able to get 5 stitches total in place. So this is 1, 2, and remember that each one has 2 double crochets. So there will be 5 groups, I should say, not 5 stitches. It'll be a total of 10 stitches. And coming around. So now we have 4 groups. You can see them here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so then the 5th here is right on this very last one. It's right underneath the where you've grouped everything together, where you've pulled that yarn strand out. So you just want to go in there, just be gentle about it. And essentially now you want to pull a large generous loop because you're now done with the purple, because you can't go any further. So what I need you to do now is that I need you to come back with the white here and bring the white back onto your hook. So we're going to bring down the white again, and let's go. So if your white area here has overlapped some of the stitches, just peel it back, just pull it back because you've gone around the ring. And we want to start off with the very first purple, and just like we've been doing with the purple in the previous version here, is that we want to put in 2 double crochets into each one of these purple ones as we're going all the way around to where you get back to this area right here with the knot, with the where we finished off with the other color. So every stitch that you're running into in this particular round is that it's going to be 2 double crochets into each. And you will notice that this project will naturally want to spin on itself because you're adding 2 stitches into every 1 stitch as you're going all the way around. So continue that, and we'll meet right back up in this area here, and we'll carry on with the next part. So I'm now ready to go, and I just want to make sure that I pull a generous area of the white back out so that we can grab it later, because we now need to move back to the purple. So I'm just going to let that string fall in front here, grab my other string so that it's not tangled, and let's grab the loops that are up on the other side and pull them back into position just like you see. So in the instructions we're moving on to round number 2, and when I showed you in the very beginning, I have in the margin 1 to 2. So what this means for myself, so that I don't have to excessively count, is that I'm going to do 1 double crochet first, and then the 2 means is that that's what we're going to put. We're going to put 2 double crochets into the next. Okay, so this basically means that I have 1, and essentially the next one is going to be 2 double crochets. So that's how I kind of remember it when I'm going all the way around. So 1, and then the next one is 2, which is the double. So continue to do that. So 1 and 2 all the way around, back up to the white, and we'll bring on the white next. And this is part of round number 2. So I'm all the way back around. I just have 1 more to go, and there will be 1, double crochet in there. If you just happen to have the 2 in there, if you've lost count at any point, you know, it's really no big deal with this particular one. You just start off the next round like you normally would, and you can pretty well get away with it. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that, but I am going to anyway. So let's bring on the white next. We're now ready to start with that one as well. So this is the second half of round number 2, and making sure there's nothing tangled in behind. And essentially just like what we've done with the purple already, we're just going to start off with 1 double crochet. This is again the 1, the 2 that's on the side for my memory hook, and essentially the next one is going to be 2 double crochets into the same one. So continue to do that all the way around to the knot. So it's going to be 1 and 2, and the second one essentially has the double. So continue, and I'll meet you back up and we'll start on with round number 3 next. So I've now come all the way around. I'm ready for the knot area, and this one happens to be, I'm putting in 2 double crochets into the final. So I'm maintaining that 1 double crochet by itself and then 2 together, just like you see. So after you've done that, pull a nice generous loop just like so, and I want to drop the white and bring the purple back online, and we are now ready for number 3, round number 3. Now round number 3 is interesting because half of it, so the first color, the purple here, will be different configuration than from the second part of doing the white as we go back around. So in the first one I have in my notes 1 to 3, and essentially what we have here is that we have 3 double crochets in a row, and then we put 2 double crochets together. Okay, so we're gonna immediately start. Don't worry about this one that's right here by itself. We're gonna start fresh. So we're just gonna continue and start. So we're gonna go 1 double crochet. The next stitch is gonna be 1 double crochet. The next one is gonna be 1 double crochet. And so I have 1 to 3 on here, so that means that the next one then has to be 2 into that. Okay, so we have to put 2 double crochets there. So let's follow that one more time. So every one of these going all the way around, you're going to go 1 double crochet, the next one will be 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet. So there's your 3, and then the next one is going to be, sorry, it's a double crochet, it's gonna be your 2 together. Okay, so 3 double crochets by themselves, and then the next one is 2 together. And so let's do that all the way around. We'll meet back up and start the white next. And this is round number 3. So I'm just coming up to the end, and there is my double, and then I have 1 more to go, so I'm just gonna put in my 1 extra in the end, just like you see here, and pull it. Nice and generous here. Now at any point I should say that you can finish this off, so if you got a size that you want, just look where these are opposite to each other, and you can do the same thing for yourself to be able to finish. So this is something, so if you really wanted to finish, you'd want to bring the white around and then finish it over here, and then just finish it off exactly like that. So just skip to the end of the tutorial if you wish to be able to do that, if you want to do it any earlier than what I have. So we're gonna move on to round number 3 still. We're on the halfway point, and so let's move on with the white here. And now white is different from what we've been doing. So the last one we did 3 double crochets in a row, and this one we are moving up, and it says to do 6. So we're gonna do 6 in a row, so let's just get that out. So we're just gonna immediately start off in the very first one. So we're just going to do 6. And I want to make sure I'm not getting any strings trapped in my work at any point. So there's 2, we have 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now the next one is going to be 2 together into the same one, just like you see there. Okay, so let's review that one more time. And while I'm talking to you, so while I have you here, the reason why that it's not the consistent one of all the way around is that the designer has done an amazing job with keeping this looking like a circle. So if she was on a particular pattern all the time, most circles in crochet are really technically not circles. They end up being 6 to 8 sided to 10 sided to 12 sided objects. So we have 5, and 6, and so she has figured out the math in order to keep it looking completely circle at all times. So in the very final one we got 6 in, so I got 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and this is my double. So continue that all the way around, 6 double crochets in a row followed by one that has 2. So I'm just finishing up round number 3. My double was right here. I ended up with 2 doubles by themselves here. I'm just gonna pull up, and now we're gonna start off with round number 4. And in round number 4 we are gonna shake things up a bit. Now if you're noticing that yours is not sitting flat, you have to force it to sit flat. You just gotta push it down and it will sit flat on its own as you're working all the way around it. So that's something that you will constantly do as you're working on this, as you're working on your project. So no big deal. So if it's starting to crinkle up on you, you know, just push it down and get control of your centerpiece once again. Let's get on our purple again, and we are going to start off with round number 4. Round number 4 is a little different again, and in round number 4 we have 1 to 10. So essentially we're gonna start off and there's gonna be 10 double crochets in a row before we do the double. And so our circle is getting bigger, so the numbers of double crochets by themselves increase as a result. So this is gonna be number 2, we got 3 and 4. We're looking for 10, then this is 5 and this is 6 and this is 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, and then finally this is where the doubles are gonna go. So do that all the way around, 1 to 10 and then double, 1 to 10 double, and then let's move back up at the white area where we'll start the second half of round number 4. Okay, I'm just finishing off the first portion of round number 4, so we're just gonna pull up on the loop, and now we're gonna grab our white again underneath. So this is the second portion of round number 4, and this one is different from what we've just done. So in this one here we had 10. In the last one we had 10 double crochets in a row and then 2, and in this one here we have 1 to 6. So in the margin I have 1 to 6. So essentially we're just going to start off with the very first one. So 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5 and 6. So now the next one is a double. So this one is a 1 to 6. Just like so. So again it's just 6 double crochet in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that was 4. 4, and we got 5 and 6. So that means if it's 1 to 6, the next one must be a double. So continue to do that all the way around until you run out of stitches again, and we'll carry on and move on to round number 5 together. So we're just coming all the way back around, and this is where my double ended. So I just want to do one more double crochet by itself. When I mean double ended, this is where the 2 were. We just come into the final stitch just like so, and that will conclude off that round. That's round number 4. So let's begin round number 5 next. So let's begin round number 5. I'm just putting the purple back onto the hook, and in round number 5 the combination is 1 to 10. So let's begin. We're gonna start off, and this is the starting of round number 5, by the way. So this is 1, and so essentially we have to have 10 double crochets together. Make sure we do grab both of our strings as we do pull through as well. It will make a difference slightly in the project, and you don't want to obviously do that too many times. So we have 1 and we have 2 and 3, 4, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So obviously we have our 10 now in, and the next one will be 2. So carry on through this round here, and we'll meet back up and we'll start the white. So it's combination of 1 to 10. So I've just finished the first half of round number 5 and now I'm bringing on the white. Now because I'm altering the pattern in this one, if you are using one strand you're going to follow the directions of doing 1 to 10. So this one here will be 10 double crochets in a row and then it will be a double. But if you're doing it double just like so with the double strands, at this point you're going to notice it's going to start to buckle. So on this particular round, just for this tutorial, if you're using 2 strands, then you need to just do 1 double crochet into each all the way around. And what that will do is it'll help bring the stitches back into balance so that this can sit down more properly after this. And this again is only if you're using double strands. So just start up and just double crochet for the second half of round number 5 all the way around. So I've now finished off round number 5 completely and I've gone all the way around doing no increases as we've been going around, and now it's time to bring up the purple again and start off with round number 6. Now according to my margin that I have here, that the round 6 is very easy to do and it is a combination of 1 to 14. So we're gonna start off today and we are going to start this. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet and you're gonna do a total of 14 in a row and then the next one will be double. So you pretty well get the gist at this point. So go 1 to 14 on the beginning half of round number 6. So I'm just finishing up the first half of round number 6. I'm all the way back around and now it's time to do the second half, and the second half according to my margin area is a 1 to 18, and that's as per the directions as well. So again, just start off and do double crochets 18 in a row, and on the 19th one you will put 2 into the same stitch. So continue to do that, and we are going to be starting up round number 7 after this, and round number 7 is when we start finalizing this off completely at this point. So we're just finishing up round number 6 and I'm just gonna pull it tight, and now it says, as per the end of round number 6, it says mark the 77th double crochet from the hook. So what you need to do here is go back down to the purple just like so and just manually now count 77 stitches. So 1 2 3 4 5. So just continue to go all the way around and meet you back up in a second. So count all that and you're gonna end up virtually on the other side of your centerpiece. So I've now counted my 77 on the other side, and it's simply I just want to slide in my hook and I want to mark it either with a stitch marker or you can get some yarn just like so, and I just want to tie it there just loosely, and then this will remind me when I get to this part that this is where I'm gonna stop and then start my decreasing in order to finish this off. So let's move along to round number 7. This is the final round and we are going to be finalizing off both colors at this particular point. Just starting off round number 7, the magic combination is 1 to 18 just for the purple only. So let's do 1 to 18 again, and then on the 19th we put 2 together. So do that and you will stop when you hit that marker on the other side of your project right here. So do that 1 to combo of 18 until you get to that spot, and then I'm gonna tell you how to finish off at that particular point. Come around with the purple and we're gonna be finishing this off. I've already filmed this, but my sound was off as I was doing it, my sound system. So when we came back, you're gonna come to the stitch marker here. As soon as you hit that, the very next stitch will be so this is part of it, you can see. So there's the double crochet. So the first one is going to be a half double crochet, single crochet, and then a slip stitch, and that's how you'll finish that off. So you come all the way around, come to the stitch marker, finish that one off with the double crochet. The next one is half double, the next one is single, and then the last one is slip stitch, and then weave in your ends, and we're gonna come back to the border in just a moment. So coming around to the second half of step 7, what you need to do is just simply fasten the white off, but we just have to do a couple more stitches after that. So what we need to do is that you look across and the purple has ended right directly across, which is fine. And so we're gonna start off this round and we're immediately going to half double crochet. We are then going to single crochet, and then we are going to slip stitch and then pull everything together. I've already cut my yarn off camera, and then we're just going to weave in our ends, and the next part is the border, which is so simple it's not even funny. The real question is what colors are you going to make it? So if your project is not sitting down flat, you need to stretch around with this and you need to play with it a bit. Because you're using 2 yarns at one time, you will notice that it's really tight, so you just got to play with it a little bit to get it to settle down, and I need to do that off camera. But let's get on with the border next and finalize this project off for today. So let's begin to do the border. What I do recommend for the borders, don't stop and start where you've finished off these spirals. do it somewhere else and it'll just make complete sense for you at that point. I always find when I start and stop in the same spots all the time, it's very obvious when you do so. So we're just gonna grab our gray yarn. I've just been using gray just to be part of my color collection this year, and I just looped it and put it onto my hook, and I'm just putting the straggler down on top of the line because I'm gonna bury it underneath because I don't want any knots on the outside border. So to begin, what we need to do is chain one first and then single crochet into the stitch, and then chain two, 1 and 2, and then come back into the same stitch for single crochet. So let's keep these stragglers down on top. So we want to skip the very next one, go to the second over, and immediately single crochet, chain 2, come back down into the same stitch for a single crochet. So again, skip the next one for single crochet, chain 2, and come back into the same one. So that's all you need to do. Just keep skipping one and do your single crochets, chain 2, single crochet, and you'll end up with these V shape going all the way around. So do that. We'll meet back up and finalize off for today. So we're coming all the way back around, and in my case I have 2 extra stitches left at the end. Technically I should be at this one and then reaching over, but you know what, I'm not gonna frog my entire project. So what I'm gonna just do is that I'm just going to single crochet into the first one, and then I'm just gonna slip stitch it to the beginning area there. And what that will do is that it will just fill in that little gap that we have left over, and really when it comes to looking at it overall, you will never even notice it. So let's fasten that off at this point, weave in our ends, and you are good to go. So I'm completely done at this point, and I will admit to you that I was scared at one point in this tutorial that my project wasn't turning out, that I was having some very severe buckling going on, but then I managed to fix that one row in order to make it so that it sat down properly. And of course you have to stretch it and just to really play around with it to make sense. So now that we have the tutorial already available for coasters, this can be for the center of your table, and of course you can always finish this earlier as long as you come up with the concept that basically your one end finishes on one side, your other end finishes on the other, and then you're good to go. So you can also do these for placemats for your dishes, and basically centerpieces also for flower arrangements and so on. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. Thank you so much for joining me today, and stay tuned next time as we bring more free tutorial projects to you. We'll see ya. Bye bye now.